Good afternoon, everybody. How's things? It's not bad out here, actually. It's quite sunny up in Scunthorpe today, so not sure how it's looking where you are. And if you remembered that we were doing it on Tuesday, hi Alison, not Wednesday this week. But yeah, shall we make a start? What have I got? I've got my orange tile and I've inked it up with a little bit of pink just around the edges there. It doesn't matter. You see, I've got a little bit of an edge that honestly really doesn't matter. Just sort of have a little bit of a play with it and add a bit of colour. I've got myself a little round sort of stencil just so I can give myself a bit of guide for the middle there. But again, you can do it freehand, not to worry. Pen, pencil, torty yarn, and I've got some coloured pencils with me today. So whatever you want to use, it's entirely up to you. But I just thought we'd do a little bit of a colour and see where it leads us. So, are we ready then? Goodness me, here we go. Pencil first. I'm just going to use this circle as a guide. And so I'm just going to come in with a bit of pencil, quite lightly, because you're not going to see this at the end. It's just there to sort of keep me in with what I'm doing. So I'm just going to, again, just give myself a little bit of a middle space. There we go. So something in the middle there as well. Looks like an orange, doesn't it, to start with? Bit of watercolour in there, you've got it. But no, we're not going to do that. Straight in with pen then. Okay, so I've got my 03 today. I'll use that one, it's fine. Oh, hello everybody. Thank you for remembering and joining me today. It's quite a lot now. We're getting really close to the 2-year anniversary of doing these products, these little tiles. So I think perhaps just need to remind myself of the date. I'm sure it's around the 23rd, something like that. Bit of a bubble there. Okay, see, it's not exactly in the middle, but as long as it's about there, it's fine. Okay. Oh, see, Wendy, we've got the sun up here, haven't we? So I know you're not too far away, Lincoln-wise. Well, yeah. Okay. Are we ready then? So again, it doesn't matter which way you're going. My sort of hand wants to come this way at a curve, but if you want to do it this way, it really doesn't matter. It's just that when you start, it's keep with the same sort of direction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come round, and you might just want to hang on for this a minute, because what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to create another line coming off it. You see, quite narrow, but they start and end at the same point. You see? It's like a dodgy looking sort of a 9 there. Okay. Oh, good idea. Oh. I must say, I'm looking forward to the class at the end of the month. We've got quite a gang coming. So it's going to be fun, I'm sure. And hopefully in a bit of nice weather as well. Be lovely. I do love doing those classes, they're great. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put another one in. So let's sort of kick it off again, sort of bringing it round. Yeah, how many am I sort of expecting? I don't know, maybe 6 of these around the place. So shall we go ahead and draw them in first? You see why I'm using the circle now as a bit of a guide there to get me going. Although if you don't get 6 in, it doesn't matter. If you get 5 or if you get 7, you do need a bit of space in between though, because we're going to add a bit more to it. So again, here we go. See if I put these lines in just to get us going. So that's 4. We're going to get 6 in. Yeah, about 6. And really sort of narrow, but coming back to the point. And then working my way around. I have actually got the shows for Hobby Maker, certainly on Thursdays, but I don't know, we'll see if we quite like Tuesdays. It gives us a bit of a gap in between each sort of tile, doesn't it? So if we can get used to it. Okay, so again, I'm just going to sort of add these stripes in. This is why I've opted for a slightly thicker pen nib today. I've gone with an 03 because that means I don't have to switch pens in between doing these little stripes. With an 01, I think it's a little bit too much to ask that it fills all these little spaces in. It's great for doing those fine lines, but not so much for doing filling in. Alright, so just sort of working my way around each one there. And, just sort of adding, it's like, almost like a little curve within a curve, isn't it? Just to give it that sort of sense that it is curving. See, little curves rather than straight lines. And then fill it in. There we go. Of course you could use a thicker pen if you want for these, but I find my 3's working fine. Oh, hi everybody. Right, now we've sort of switched to Tuesday for a little bit rather than Wednesday. It just it seems as though everything's happening on a Wednesday for a minute, so I hope you're all looking forward to tomorrow. Anyway, we've got the new Sea Life stencil on Hobby Maker, so I know my team has been really keen to get some stuff done with it. It's very short notice they've had, I must admit, but they've really pulled the boat out this time. They've really got some fab little samples. Alright, so again, just sort of filling out these little stripy shapes. It's not, this one's not sea theme now. Well, it can be if you wanted it to. Oh, Donna, it's time tomorrow's 2 and 4. 2 and 4. So that's, yeah, I think that's it. Okay. All right, so let's just take one at a time for now. And I'm just going to bring up, and I'm just going to add in a little curl at the top there. See, make it a little bit thick at the top there. Let's go in a bit more so you can see. Oh, hey Pat. Sorry, I should have reminded everybody. I think Chris did earlier. It's just that it's going to be Tuesday for the next couple of weeks anyway, so there we go. See, it's got little curls. And around, even if you didn't remember, the video's still there. And around, see, it's just gone out of that circle a little bit, but that's fine because it's just a guide. Okay. And same again here, look, curl. I'm just going to make that a little bit heavier on the base there. You see, I'm just sort of following the curve of the shapes to help me get going. And maybe round into this one. Okay. It seems ages actually since the Hobby Maker started, didn't it? It's crazy. Glynis, yes, I do have some new stuff tomorrow. I do have a new stencil, and I've done a slightly larger sketch pad. So I know some of you have been asking for that. So. Right, see this one here? It's going just underneath because, of course, I don't want to. There you are. That's fine. And then along and round and along and round again. Just a little bit of weight to that one there. And then bring it round. You see how it sort of it lends itself to create some sort of shape there. And around. Kathy, you will be able to order it from our website, but just not right now. It's got to go on the show first, and then it will towards the weekend. Okay. Oh, if it's no worries if you don't get the tiles done. It's just sometimes having to sit down and watching can chill you out, can't it? You don't have to do all of them, but they're there if you want to. You can catch up any time. Okay. So there we go. All right. So remember, this tile it did start as orange. There you go, look. And I've just added some pink ink round the edge of it just to give it a little bit of a break up. So there we go, there's our first sort of section here. So I'm gonna now, let's have a look. See, we've got these sort of little gaps in between. So let's sort of imagine that we've got, coming from the middle of, again maybe, we've got another one of those little lines coming through, you see? And again, just before I forget where it is, I'm going to put those little stripes on. There we go. And then we've got to imagine, because of course the curls are going to be underneath this one here. So maybe we imagine that this is going to come up and round and along here. See, this one is going to come around. It's going to create another one of those little leaf shapes, but it's definitely in the background. So let's do another C. So again, if I work from the middle bit there, just I think it gives you a helping hand with that curve. And then see, just sort of in the background, let's put those stripes on. There we go. Now you're not really going to see much else here at all, are you? So let's just sort of make up the sort of the shape at the top, how it would be. Okay. And then what about this one? Let's have a look. So along and then back down. See, so it's just sort of adding these in the background. It's not got to be an exact where they begin and where they end. See, I'm just going to imagine that that one's there. And then again, let's do another. See here, just sort of, you know, having that curve in. See, it's quite nice working on this orange with the pink. It just looks like a darker orange, doesn't it? But it's definitely pink I added. It's quite nice. You see, imagining that's all going to be behind again, so let's just add that sort of shape in. All right, what about, so here we go again, sort of, in we go, and along, there we are, and then again, some of these lovely little stripes. I'm not trying to sort of make them match, you know, working my way along the middle bit there. It's just sort of in the background, so you're not going to see that hugely. And next one into here. There we are. See, got that lovely little shape again. And let's fill in a couple of little gaps, and then of course sort of going to sit around there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, all the way around again. All right, not looking too bad at all. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to lightly come and remove those lines because we don't really need them anymore. And I don't want it to sort of confuse anything. So again, you don't have to rub them out. It's just because I've gone a bit darker than I perhaps would normally. So you can see on the camera, but there we go. So we've got this lovely little shape here. So all right, let's have a look at these little gaps in between. Let's go. Yeah. Oh Mal, no, they don't get harder. The books don't. You can start wherever you like. It's just, I think book 1 has got a little bit more text and it explains things in a little bit more detail. But you could certainly go straight into book 7 and follow the instructions. It would be absolutely fine. And then of course you've got videos that you can follow as well. I know I'm a little bit behind putting them on YouTube, but I'll get to it. Okay, I'm just creating what we'd call a little aura, so a little shape. Filling the space in that I've got left in between these little gaps here. Now yours is going to be a little bit different. So if you want to have a look at yours and sort of see where these gaps are that you can fill in. You see, I'm not going too close to the edge. I'm just giving it a little bit of a space. Same here. I'm just gonna fill it in. then here, look, I've got another gap. So let's draw that one in there. And then here, again, I'm just taking my time and just looking at each space at a time, just as they come forward, and just sort of adding that little sort of aura, drawing around that shape inside there, and then just filling in. See, this one's a little bit, was it too close to go? Oh, yeah, go all the way through. Okay, and the next sort of here, let's fill that one in. There we go. All right, let's have a look at where we're at so far. There we are. So we've got quite a sort of a space going on here, haven't we? With all that black, all that drama going on there. And that's what we sort of wanted. We want to have something going on in the middle that's quite sort of strong. Okay. Yes, Chrissy, there is a tile on Friday. I'm just changing Wednesdays to Tuesdays for now. So see this one that we've done around the outside here? I'm just going to imagine that there's another one slightly behind it, you see? And then, oh, welcome, Sandra. Nice to have you here. There, we'll do a second. And then another. See, each time, look, I'm just taking a little line out and I'm coming back to that point. And then again, and back to the point. You see, each time, coming back to that point. So I'm going to go all the way down until, that's going to be my last one. Not go anymore. There we go. All right, so let's turn it around. Let's look at the next one. This one here, see the one that's underneath all those. So again, put that little line out. I'm going to sort of follow this shape a little bit. And then to the point there. And then again, and to the point. And then I'm just going to keep doing that, putting that little sort of line out to start with, and then bringing it back again. Each time. Obviously that's not quite joined. They seem to get smaller and smaller as you go round. Now yours are going to be a little bit different. You might have decided that you're going to do these on the other side of those little sort of leafy shapes. Oh, thank you, Sam. It's sometimes, you know, it's a little bit of a challenge to come up with something a bit different. You know, we've been doing it for a while now. I say we've got a 2-year anniversary coming up soon. We're in a completely different place now than when we started, aren't we? So, you know, trying to come up with something different each time. It does take some thought. I do think about it, and I do try and give you all sort of different variations, because I know not everybody likes every tile. So I do try and sort of change things about a bit. Although, you know, putting zingers on everything, I know we'd all love to do that, but we don't need to. And maybe sometimes we don't actually need bubbles, dare I say it. But maybe. Maybe you could have put bubbles in the middle instead of filling it with black ink earlier on, but that's fine. Okay, let's have a look at this next one. So again, just repeating what I've done before. And just taking my time. Look, each one, a little bit of a kick out, and then back to the point. And then again to the point. You see how it all just sort of comes together. And it's a little bit different, isn't it? We could have filled the whole space up with the little sort of leaf shapes, but this one's a little bit different. It gives you something else you could do with them. There we go. And another one. So again, you might have already done yours. You might have had 5 rather than 6. Or you might have spread the sides a little bit more so they're wider. I know, Sheila. Maybe I'll put the odd bubble in. It's got to be, hasn't it? But, I don't know. It would feel weird not having bubbles. There we go. Let's have a look at this, see where we're at. All right, look at that. It's lovely, isn't it? How that's sort of all fanned out like that. Oh, happy birthday. Is it Bernadette? Happy birthday. Goodness me, it's a nice day for it as well, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look. So we've got a little bit of space left, and it's a case of what do we do with this? It's, yeah. Oh yeah, Kathy, Port Sunlight. It's in the Wirral. I had a chat with my friend Tony Darrick on Sunday, and I'm going to be, yeah, I'm going to be there. Is it April the 2nd, is it? Yeah. But then there's also a little bit more news coming up where I'm not going to share that just yet. But, yeah, Tony and I had quite a chat. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, Bernadette, yeah, you're more than welcome. You need to get yourself over here. I'm going to fill that in. Yeah. It's going to be quite the weekend, actually. This one coming up, we've got a few people coming over. So I've just done a little bit of an aura there. Followed that shape round. And then, I know, if I told you everything that was happening, it'd be boring. Okay, so see the sort of little hats on top there. You know, I have to sort of break it up a little bit for you. I should know everything. And you're like, what's next? I'm like, well, I haven't done that yet. Okay, fill it again. And then see, I'm just going to follow it all the way around. There we go. Down and into there. And then I'm just going to give it little hats. Each one getting a little bit smaller. Let's just kink it that way a bit. Might even I was going to put another one in here, look. Again, you might want to look at your tile and think, I can only fit 2 in, or I can only do 1, or you can do more, but, you know, see where it sort of leads you and go from there. Oh, let's join that now. There we go. I sort of had a little bit of one sort of sneaking out there, maybe. And then, Elizabeth, yeah, do you know, I keep saying we're going to sort that. I do apologise. I did have plans. Beginning of January, we sat down and we had some plans written out. But of course, everything went a little bit awry with creating craft and things. So everything sort of got swapped about and changed a little bit. But yes, I do plan to. I'm doing it a Zoom. It's a conference for certified Sanntangle teachers. At the end of April, I'm doing the Tangle U. I'm a guest teacher on that. So if you're a certified Sanntangle teacher, you can book onto that. But yeah, I will get them sorted for you. It is at the top of my mind, it really is. So I will, as soon as I can fit some in. I think now things are settling down a little bit, aren't they? People know where they're going now, so we can get on with doing what we do best, and that's creating new products. Okay, let's have a look around at this bit. So I'm actually just working my way around my tile and just filling in these little shapes wherever I can. Just giving them little hats. I must say, I do love this colour tile with this ink. I'm trying to think which colour ink it was now. It was one of those Crafter's Companion inks. Then, you know, they're not their quick dry ones, just a regular ink pad. Sort of a mid-dark, not a darky pink, but a mid-pink, I think. It's lovely, isn't it? I'm really pleased with that. There we go. See, that one's underneath there. And then, oh, there we go. There. Oh, part. That's sad, isn't it? I know things are just a bit odd at the minute as to who to watch and where to go. But I see that a lot of people now, companies are starting their, their YouTube type things, a bit like Crafters TV. So, I think it's a different era now and a different way to watch and do things. We've just got to let the dust settle and then see what we prefer, really. I mean, I'm saying I don't know which one to watch and when. It's been a bit odd, but that's okay. It'll sort itself out. All right, let's have a look at where we're at. Oh, Wendy, yeah, it could be the fuchsia. Just a second, I've got it. A second. Oh, you are spot on. There we go, look, fuchsia. Absolutely, I'm impressed. Okay, so let's have a look. Thank you, Leslie. Cup of tea time. So we've got a little bit of space. Let's just come on in with a few bubbles. All different sizes. So I'm not going to put loads on. Just little bits in there. Just sort of if you've got a little space, we just want to add a few. I might come back and I don't know, I could use a metallic pen in there. Or I could use the white gel, couldn't I? But we'll see what I think. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to sort of come in. I want to do something in the middle here first, so I'm going to come in with a coloured pencil or two. What do I have? Oh, got a white coloured pencil, a yellow, go, an orange, and a red. Okay, let's see where we head with those. So it's only a small space, so I'm just going to sort of identify a little bit of a white area. And then if I start with the darker, let's just add in a little bit of the dark. See, just sort of the opposite side to where I put the white. Then into the orange. Press it on quite hard here because normally we'd work in layers, but it's only a small space, so I'm not going to worry about trying to blend it seriously. I'm getting that yellow in there. Okay. So work sort of back up the layers. There's the orange. And there's that red again. Sort of around the edges. I think just to sort of give it a little bit of a highlight. So I'm going to come in with a highlight. I'm going to come in with a dark blue. I'm just going to add some in to that edge there. See, so it just keeps the colours warm and it doesn't fade them away. Let's have a look at that. There we go. Hey, yeah, that's looking all right, that. So let's come in with our regular pencil now. Okay, so I'm going to go a bit larger. First thing I'm going to do is because they're quite narrow, I'm just going to put pencil down one side, you see? And again, whichever side that you choose, stick to it as you work your way around. So pencil on the same side on each section. And just sort of adding a little bit there. Okay, see, just a little bit in. So looking at our little leaf shapes, again, I'm going to choose the same side as I've put that on already, and I'm just going to add a little bit sort of up there. So I'll go around this way now. You see, just sort of giving it a little bit of a gap and just round that first curl there. And of course, if you chose to put shadow on the other side, then you'll do this on the other side as well. Okay, so let's have a look at these sort of little shapes behind, and I'm going to do it on this side. There's no sort of rules here, it's just whatever you sort of feel at the time. I think if we've got to say rules, it's not, but guidance is do it on the same side, because then your eye believes it a little bit more. You see, we've got these here as well. I'm just going to add a little bit just to the side of that there. See just where they sort of go underneath each other. And then again, I'm going to do that on each one. Oh, missed that one there, look. There we go. So just sort of a little bit inside each one there. Now, of course, if you've done this on a darker tile, then you might want to be using your white chalk pencil or a pastel to add some shadow on, because your graphite pencil might not show through. There we go. See, just sort of, you don't want a massive amount, it's just going to give it a little bit of shadow there. And of course, to this one. Alright. So while we're here then, let's have a look at these little hats. I'm going to put some on both sides because they're wide enough to do that. And then, see this one, don't want to miss that one. And then of course, just sort of again, working my way around, trying not to miss any of them. If I do, it's okay, I can go back and do it after. There we go. And those three. Now one more bit of pencil. And you see here where you've got this one going underneath this one. I'm just going to add some pencil around the edge there. So let's look at this one. There we are, see, just around the edge there. Just puts one thing in front of the other and helps you get a little bit of a depth thing going on there. Okay, and then same there. And then this one. Okay, let's bring our tortillon in then. So again, I'm going to start where I began with the pencil. I'm just going to soften up the pencil on these sort of stripy shapes. Don't need too much movement there, we just want to soften them up a little bit. And then here, I'm just going to sort of up and down and then spread it round that curl, see? Let's do that again, work his way up and down and then spread it around that curve. And same again. Okay, moving round, up and down, spread it around the curve. Up and down, spread it around. And again, spread it around. Same on this side. So if we sort of systematically work on each section at a time, maybe soften that a bit more, and we'll get every bit that we needed to. And then of course, let's have a look, we did those bits. So again, not going to overdo it, just going to soften them gently. And then whilst I'm here, I might as well do those. So just sort of work around the tile. Okay, so just in sort of sections. And then around. From there. Just sort of soften it off. Same again. Oh, not to forget those. I'm turning it round. And just sort of follow it through. Just sort of remembering to just give it a little bit of a touch there. And then of course, last sort of thing here, I'm just going to sort of go around in swirls just to sort of give that a little bit of shadow. See that one now definitely is over the top of that one. And same on this one. Oh, it looks quite dark at the minute. We've put all this graphite on, but do you know what? The orange of the tile is just shining through it. It's quite luminous actually. And then you've got that little gem in the middle there that helps just bring it to life a little bit. And then this one. Now of course we could go back in and we could use coloured pencils if we wanted to. Let's have a look at it. But I'm going to come in with my white pencil. Just have a quick sip of tea. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm using my white chalky pastel-y pencil. See, very chalk-like. So, you know, be careful. They can be quite brittle when you're sharpening them. It's not the same as a regular coloured white pencil. Okay, same colours kind of thing, but this one's very waxy and this one's chalky. So there is a difference. Okay, so first things first then, let's have a look at these little, maybe I should have sharpened it a bit, but that's okay. These stripes, I'm just gonna add a little bit of white, you see, just to the opposite end of where the shading was that I did earlier. All right. Yeah. Oh, Joe. Now you did see on Friday. I did show you the stencil on Friday. Okay. Still got the packaging here though, so I'm going to just put a little bit, just sort of at the top there. See, just a little bit. I'm not pressing on too hard here either, I'm just sort of brushing it over, really. Just so you get the idea of a little bit of light. And then on these ones, just a little bit off that edge there. Now you've got to make the decision here as well as how much of the highlight do you want to put on. Do you want to put some on each one of these, or do you want to leave it? It's quite a decision to make, isn't it? So let's just put a little bit, see, on the top. So if we go all the way down, it might be a little bit too much. How's that? That's better, isn't it? So see, just a little bit on the top. And of course I'm not going to be blending this, so we don't want to overdo it. And there. See, just sort of almost putting up just a touch of it on. That's a bit. So I'm not trying to sort of colour it or anything. I'm just, no, that doesn't want to work. There you go. There we are. Sometimes I think it gets a little bit of graphite on it, gets a bit clogged up. I only want a little bit on it. Alright, last one. Although then we've got these little hat flourishes to do, haven't we? Maybe that one. Again, I'm just putting a line straight up the centre there. Just working my way around, see? Just up the centre. Alright, okay, liking that. I think one more thing to do. I'm just going to come back in with my black pen that I started with at the beginning. And I'm just going to come in, see on these leaves, the very first leaves. I'm just going to bring that black pen and just draw around that line again. So sort of from here to here to the point. Okay, just sort of giving that line a little bit more of a reminder as to here I am, you know, it's just, we need it to stand out just a little bit. And then Let's have a look at it. All right, one more to do. Okay, and then I think, see where we've got these stripes, just where we put the darker pencil, the graphite, I'm going to just come in and redraw that line in. Okay. Not where the white is, just where the graphite is, just one side. Sort of bring it round back to the middle there. So here I thought we started with a little bit of a circular shape and a bubble in the middle. Okay, just maybe bring that bubble in. There we are. Okay, let's have a look. I'll zoom out. Look at that, look at the difference that white makes. It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely. So where to sign? Oh, I've got a bit of space here, I think. Let's have a look. So if I put my initial there. There we go. So there is our tile for the day. Goodness me, it's absolutely. Okay, I do have one that I've done on a pale grey tile, and I kept it monochrome. So if you want to have a look at this as well. There we go. So you're getting a slightly different feel because of course you've not got the colour in there, and I've changed the outside a little bit, but you've got a very similar sort of feel. Of course this one I've just used the pencil rather than actually colour it in. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth a go, isn't it? It's definitely worth having a look at. And again, just having that little bit of ink around the edge, it's just made that a little bit darker and helped this bit appear a little bit lighter too. So yeah, it's got some movement, hasn't it? I'd love you to have a go at it and post, and let's see how you get on. But okay, if you didn't see Fridays and you wanted to have a look at the new stencil, this is the cover, and it's going to give you the options to do. Look at that fish, this little critter, look at him, and then of course the jellyfish is absolutely, love it, and the shells, and look at him, miserable as anything. We all know a friend like that, don't we? So yeah, that's the cover for the packaging. So yeah, we've got some fab demos prepped for that tomorrow. But okay, in the meantime then, have a go at this, see how you get on with it. And if I don't sort of see you tomorrow, then of course I will see you back here at 2 o'clock on Friday for the next tile. All right, so have a good day, what's left of it, and take care, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.